Welcome to the Mount Pleasant Podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Cleary, and all thanks to the great people of Mount Pleasant Magazine, I get the honor, the privilege of introducing you to Mount Pleasant, the people who make it such a special place to do business, to work, and even to live. We're introducing you to Mount Pleasant's best on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Here's a great opportunity for you to party with the best. Mount Pleasant Magazine, and of course the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive here on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. It's throwing a big soiree, and you are invited to shine, to party, rub elbows with Mount Pleasant's best. To talk about the big party that's coming up is the publisher of Mount Pleasant Magazine. We welcome to, well, Bill, this is really your podcast at the end of the day, but welcome again to the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
You're welcome, man. You do such a great job with this podcast, Brian. I'm really excited about what you're doing.
Well, we're excited about the fact that so many people from Mount Pleasant are going to come out and meet Mount Pleasant's best. And joining us as well is the managing editor of Mount Pleasant Magazine, Zach Giroux. Zach, I'll throw this at you first, or Bill, if you want to take it this way. Let's come up with the genesis. How did the idea for the Best of Party with Mount Pleasant Magazine come about?
Oh, man. I mean, we wanted to have a celebration. And having the people that were voted best in multiple categories, Brian, was like, it just was a perfect solution for people to all get together, network, and basically have a great time.
So let's start with some numbers then, because you talk about the number of people. Let's talk about, first of all, votes. This year for the Best of Mount Pleasant, any idea of how many votes you actually accumulated?
Definitely. Yeah, 76,000.
Wow.
That's 76,000 votes. When anybody would come in, they would vote for 13 or 15 at a time. And so we had 76,000 votes altogether. Isn't that great?
It's outstanding. 76,000 is a lot of votes. How many categories were these 76,000 people voting in?
We had departments. So we had 6 departments, right? Mm-hmm. You know, like health and wellness. We have, shopping. We have celebrities. We have different categories. And in those categories, there's like the best drugstore, the best pharmacist, or the best, OBGYN or whatever it was. And then they would vote those, and those are all the people that have been invited to come.
Absolutely, Brian, and this is across all sectors of businesses. Every employee imaginable, as well as pets.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you mentioned that. We got pets.
Can't forget it.
Hey, furry four-legged friends, they're always welcome as well. So this is an annual event with Mount Pleasant Magazine. But Bill, how many years has the Best of Party been going along?
We've been doing it 13 years.
So we are excited for the 13th annual event. This will be coming up on September 19th. That's a Thursday evening, happening on the USS Yorktown. How is it that it came about that you decided this year the party would be on the Yorktown?
Well, the front cover of the Best of issue this past January, the 2-page spread was taken in the Yorktown. I just have it. I just love the Yorktown, as most people do that's been on it. My attraction to it is it's a staple of the area, but also the people running it now. Allison, I always find this interesting. Brian, she is in charge of that whole boat, right? Well, when that boat was built, Brian, a woman couldn't even be on that boat. And then when it was built, it was 40% of the people who built that boat were women. So it made me more in tune with the boat. We've got a great relationship with them, and we've had it before in many different places. But this year we've got it on the Yorktown. I think that's cool. You got to come, Brian. Think you guys can make it, you and your wife?
Absolutely. This is a party everybody's got to come to, because it's an opportunity to party with the best. And at the Yorktown, one of the most beautiful places in Mount Pleasant. And these are the places, the people, the things that are always featured in the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine and here on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Today, I'm Brian Cleary. Well, I'm Brian Cleary every day, but today I'm joined by the publisher of Mount Pleasant Magazine, Bill Macchio, and also the managing editor. And Zach, let me turn this over to you as we get down and we look at the party and think about the best of. Some people over the years have dominated the Best of awards. They win year after year. We can't go through every single winner here on the podcast, but can you share some of the folks who have been multiple year winners?
there's certainly so many past winners who have won the past 5 or 6 times. But also in that same token, it always seems like every year somebody surprises us and wins a category you wouldn't expect. And that's really what it's all about. It's all about that give and take. And as far as new businesses and business owners coming to the area. And, we want everybody to be a winner. So, but I definitely want to give you a rundown of all the activities that are going to be happening at the Yorktown. It's different every year. Of course, it's different venues. First time we've done it at USS Yorktown. It's the epicenter of our town. It's the hub where, everybody comes together from all walks of life, military and business people alike. And this year, we have some really cool things. I think the coolest thing that comes to mind is we're going to have a violinist, an electronic violinist, playing alongside our live DJ. That should be quite the hit. We have everything from cornhole to axe throwing. And of course, let's not forget the oysters from Rappahannock and the Lowcountry libations that'll be on hand. It's just going to be outstanding.
So, Bill, let me ask you this, and come on, don't be shy about this. Drop a few names. We're talking about Mount Pleasant's best. I come to the party. Who do you think I might be rubbing elbows with that night?
Well, Joe that is a manager at Starling Chevy will be there. The gentleman Jim that is running, and probably Rick from Boone Hall will be there. Angie will be there. Haven's Furniture for sure. And it's a collection of the leaders of our commerce, basically small business people. I want to emphasize that the best of issue, like all the other issues, Brian, are direct mail to newcomers that move to the 5 zip codes we serve, which is Daniel Island, North and South Mount Pleasant, Isle of Palms, Sullivan's Island. And they get it in their mail, and they end up using the results of the best of, Brian, as kind of like their guide, because they're new to the area. They don't know that many people here. So they use the best of issue as their guide to where the best restaurants are, where the best retailers are, the things like that. So I'm very proud of that because we're a guide to newcomers for sure.
Absolutely. You want to find a place to go to in Mount Pleasant, you'll find it there in the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine. Bill, I got to ask, though, Zach had mentioned axe throwing. Do we really think it's a good idea to have Rick Bentall from Boone Hall Farms throwing an axe on the Yorktown? Are we sure about that?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. I actually thought that I'd get a little pushback because I had to get permission, obviously. But they were, go ahead. So it was fun because we did it another time at one of the other events, and there was a line, and people really lined up to do the axe throwing. For sure.
Well, we've got some people listening, watching our podcast today that have been at previous best of parties. Can you toss out a couple of things that this year maybe you haven't done in the past or might be a little different? Obviously, violin with DJ, that's going to be awesome.
It really is going to be awesome. It's a great venue. Have you been to any parties there, Brian?
On the Yorktown? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's just it gives a great atmosphere. It's just a great venue.
Is great. The vibe is great. The venue itself is going to be great. The food, we've kind of upped it up this year. We've got a lot of Lowcountry Boil, oysters, as Zach mentioned. We've got lots of sweets. So if anybody out there listening to this wants some sweets, definitely. And we've got Carolina cocktails. We'll serve in your favorite cocktails.
To add to that, Brian, really just the outstanding views of the Charleston Harbor. They're breathtaking. The breeze is amazing out there. And so it should be an excellent night for anything on the water.
You're going to be mingling with the best of.
That's right.
We are talking about the best of party that's coming up on Thursday, September 19th. That'll be from 6 until 10 at the USS Yorktown. You are invited to come along and celebrate. This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. We celebrate all of the great things that happen in Mount Pleasant on the podcast and, of course, on the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine. And today on the Mount Pleasant Podcast, Bill Macchio, who is the publisher and is managing editor, Zach Giroux is with us as well. Zach, managing editor. What does that mean? Describe what you do to people.
Essentially, I oversee the whole editorial process from start to finish. Everything from when the brainstorming sessions to assigning the stories to the proofing, the final edits. Then we put it on the page and cross a few T's and dot a few I's, and Bill checks it off, and we're good to go.
When Brian said that, he said, "What do you do to people?"
Yeah.
So what do you do to people?
hopefully
drive them crazy.
Yeah. Hopefully try to inspire them. All of our writers here and our staff, it really takes everybody. It's a whole team effort here. There's not one person that does more than the other. It takes all hands on deck.
And it's got to be an amazing feeling for you and Bill as well, but you're bringing alive to other people all the great things that happen and are a part of Mount Pleasant. You got to feel great about being a part of that.
Absolutely. It's our honor, and I feel like it's our civic duty to the town.
So you're right, Brian. That drives us. Like during COVID, I wanted to make sure that the magazine came out in a timely fashion because I knew that the magazine was consistent in a lot of people's lives. And during that period of our life, there was a lot of inconsistencies there. So by putting out the magazine, it helped bring that consistency back to some people. And we just love what we do, man. We really do.
Well, here's an opportunity for everybody to come out and not only meet some of the best of Mount Pleasant, but meet some of the people behind the pages of the magazine that you read every time it comes out. So, Zach, again, this is a party. It's not just for the nominees and for the winners, but it's for everybody. I want to come. How do I go about getting my tickets?
Correct. Absolutely. There's a QR code on our flyer that went out, but also you can go directly to www.bestofmpparty.com, and that will bring you right to the ticket site. You go in there, fill your name, email address, select your ticket quantity, and purchase your tickets from there. $45 a ticket, and that includes everything we just mentioned.
Yeah, I had somebody the other day email me, Brian, and says, is the food included in that? $45 covers everything. Drinks and food is part of everything. Of course, enjoying everybody's company there is a big part of it. But that $45 covers everything.
So Thursday, September 19th, the USS Yorktown from 6 until 10. It's going to be a special night that you'll want to be a part of. Again, an opportunity for you to meet the best of Mount Pleasant and the folks who are behind the Mount Pleasant magazine. Zach, as you look forward to the rest of 2024, what are we looking forward to seeing on the pages of Mount Pleasant magazine?
Yeah, so our issue we're working on right now is our fall issue. Certainly all things fall from we have some spooky elements in there. I don't want any spoilers, but there's definitely going to be some goosebumps on the pages. And and then we move on to up towards our winter issue and our holiday issue, and really excited about that and exploring all walks of faith here in our community. We very very religious community in all aspects, and we plan to explore that. So we're looking forward to it.
And we are looking forward to the opportunity to party with the best. It's the best of Mount Pleasant. This is what you read every time in the pages of Mount Pleasant magazine and hear about here on the Mount Pleasant podcast. Now you've got an opportunity to come experience and really celebrate. And Bill, at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about, celebrating Mount Pleasant?
Absolutely. Citadel did a survey one time with the readers. I was so touched by this, Brian, that after reading the magazine, they feel more connected with the town. I mean, what more could a publisher want? I mean, that's so cool that they even said that, you know?
And so this is the opportunity for you. You've read those pages. Let those pages come alive and be a part of the Best of Party, September 19th on the USS Yorktown. Zach, let me have you do it one more time. If somebody wants to get tickets, just scan that QR code.
So scan the QR code in our magazine or go directly to www.bestofmpparty.com. And by the way, it's on the screen right here.
Just making it easier for you here on the Mount Pleasant podcast for you to get the tickets. And Zach, Bill, somebody comes and wants to share a drink, have a toast with you. You're open for that, right?
Absolutely, for sure. Makes for good social media, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Make certain to you'll have your phone with you, take some shots, hashtag Mount Pleasant Magazine on those and be a part of the Best of Party. Mount Pleasant's Best will be there. You should join Bill Macchio, the publisher of Mount Pleasant Magazine and his managing editor as well, Zach Giroux. We appreciate you taking your time to be with us on the Mount Pleasant podcast, and we'll look for everybody Thursday, September 19th, 6 until 10 at the USS Yorktown. Thanks for joining me, Brian Cleary, today here on the Mount Pleasant podcast.
Thanks for spending your time with the Mount Pleasant podcast, your community, your podcast. Listen to past and future episodes at mountpleasantpodcast.com.